Hi there. We're just coming up to 4 o'clock, so I like to just make sure I'm logged in. I'm Steve Hooker. Don't worry, there won't be too much of introduction. We're just wait for 4 o'clock, so hopefully you can see me, and that will be good. So lovely day. In fact, a bit bright behind me for a decent video of myself. Anyway, that's 4 o'clock, so let's go across and go to the PowerPoint presentation that we've got lined up for you. And it's obviously about roofing, which is what it's all about today. And apologies if I'm looking at my screen, just trying to get a few things done. And hopefully you should be seeing in a second. It might go black for a short while. Don't worry whilst it updates onto the screen. And right, so I'm going to be talking about winning more clients for roofing. It comes into 3 basic blocks: website, being found by potential customers, and other ideas. And we'll keep it as close to 30 minutes as we can. So who am I? I'm Steve Hooker. I have an MBA, a Master of Business Administration. I've worked for the companies with these brands here. I'm a UK marketeer. And my main companies are first4biz.org, and which is the first for business, so everything to do about growing businesses, and a web design company about web design. I'm developing some new businesses, which is a guide to starting a business, which is something I'm quite passionate about, helping new businesses who sometimes need some special help. And I've recently moved out of London into Surrey, and I'm developing more local business as well. And I help companies online. If you want more about me, go to the First4Biz website and go to the About Us page. But let's get on with the main reason of this afternoon. You've had a great year. Roofing, cladding and insulation has talked about searches for expert roofers increasing by 915%. That's almost a 10% increase in searches for roofers. For those of you with poor eyesight like myself, you know, I've just made it a bit bigger for you. So good year. The future is also very rosy for you. Generally, the building trade is motoring at the moment. The economic climate's right. People are spending a lot of money on their homes, or moving and then spending. So it's looking good in the short term. But now is a very good time to invest for the future. In roofing, people have either replaced roofs or upgraded and repaired roofs. So when the current workload is finished, it'll be back to the competing for work with other local companies. So be found and trust. Actually, people looking for people like roofers have struggled to find trusted builders to assist with home repairs. So I'd like to actually help that and give some pointers to that. So the website or trust. If you do not have one, if there's one thing you take from this webinar, is get one. It's the best return on your investment you can get. depending on the sector, and I haven't got any hard figures on building, but 30 to 80% of people will not use a company without a website. 80% are things like financial institutions. 30% is for cheaper things. I think you're probably somewhere in the middle in terms of roofing. Today, having a website is a badge of trust. How often has someone said, "Oh, can I find a bit more information on your website?" So, and don't forget, one job will pay for your website, so it's not a huge investment. If you've got your website, it's well worth just taking a bit of time and comparing yours with your local competitors. Have you got your contact details visible? Are your services that you offer clear? Has it got a modernish look? And again, compare to your competition. It doesn't have to be great and wonderful and all singing and dancing, but it needs to be as good as your main competitors. Mobile. What does your website actually look like on an iPhone or other smartphone that you may have? This is absolutely key if offering emergency roofing services, because that will have a high percentage of people searching on their phones. If your business is based around a major city or Southeast England, likewise, your site needs to be mobile friendly. Busy commuters will be searching on their smartphones. Website features, I'd certainly recommend adding some video. It's engaging, increases the action taking on a website. They're far more likely to phone or email. Gives you Google ranking benefits. Where should you put the video? Either on the front page or an About Us page. And again, it's not that expensive, and the video can even be one that you take yourself with your smartphone. Some of the basics: make sure you've got contact form. Testimonials are important on a roofing website. Gallery of work done. Organisations you're members of. Physical address. All of these will help increase the conversion of people coming to your website. A giveaway is a great thing, an e-book, and we've got here to the right one that we've had written, Roofing Company Hiring Guide. Everything you must know before hiring a roofer. And this is good, and we adapt it obviously for the company and put in photos and other bits to tune it to what the services you do. It develops you very much as a local roofing expert. People give their email to get it, so you collect the emails and you can follow up the emails. Particularly for major purchases, it may take a number of contacts, up to 6 quite often for major ones, before they will actually buy the service you're offering. This will mean that you're always readily available to them when they've actually made up their mind, yes, I will renovate my roof. Who shall I go with? Oh yes, I'll get some useful information from AC Roofer. And this is the best ever type of lead for large projects, and I highly recommend it. It can be all automated by your website developer, so it's a great tool. Here's a shot from the book, you know, why you need to make an informed decision about a roofer, how to find one. Obviously, with your telephone number there, it shouldn't be too difficult for them to ring you. Website questions. I've had a lot of questions and emails, and I suggest you go to our website design company after. Don't click on this during the live webinar, but this will be linked after the webinar, which will take you straight through to that, and it will why you need a website if you haven't got one, and then how do you make your website more profitable for those with which. How much? Anything from £0 to £2,000. You pay for what you get. The free ones have a lot of limitations for the work that you have to do for them. Clarify the support arrangement. You know, will they do changes for you? If so, how much in pounds per hour will they charge for you? How long will it take you to get a website? Typically a couple of weeks from when you've given them the information that they need. Is WordPress. WordPress is a type of website, so it's the sort of the back end of the website. It's growing, and it is our recommendation for most sites. So you've got a great website, but now you actually want people to come to your website. Today in the UK, this is Google. You know, latest figures around 90% of searches. Question I've got to ask you: have you searched on Google recently for something like roofer wherever you live, roofer in Guildford, and one thing: use a computer that does not normally visit your site. Google remembers with something called cookies, and if you visit it more than a couple of times, even just a couple of times, it will think that you love this site and this is a great site and it's an important site, which it obviously is. But I've seen cases where people have thought they are at the top of Google, page 1, position 1, and they're on positions on page 7 of Google. So use your daughter's computer or whatever, as long as she doesn't look at your website. The other thing is, do you actually have a Google map? That is a very useful thing to have. It will get you some additional customers. When you're on Google, you must be on page 1. Only around 5% will go to page 2. And if you're in position 1, 40% on average will click. Position 2, 25% will click. Position 3 is 10%. And the positions down the rest of the page are around 5%. So just going from position 3 to 1 will increase your traffic on average by about 4 times. So it's well worth doing and finishing the SEO work that you've been doing. SEO, search engine optimization, that's how you get to the top of Google rankings. It's very much about optimizing your website for Google and the consumer, and it's about optimizing the links and social signals that go and point to your website. Roofing is a competitive term, so it takes time. You won't get to the top of page 1 Google in a week. It will take some time depending on the area. There are some do-it-yourself options, will take time. We hope by the end of next week to have a book out on top ranking strategies 2014 and beyond. So later you'll be able to click here, and that will give you some pointers, but it does take time. But we, in this, will try and lay out what you need to do, which is part of our guide to starting a business. Right, so you know this. This is Google. Now, if technology allows, I will go back and we'll do a Google roofer search. And let's just go there. And let's just switch to the Explorer. Hopefully you can see this. And we'll go to Roofer London. It's, you know, it's the most important in the UK. You've probably seen this and you know this. This is London Roofers. These are the adverts, and these are the adverts. for clicking on these will probably cost you about £5 a click at the moment on page 1. Certainly these ones will. It might be a bit lower here. And you can see that these ones, so this is at the top, he's done a grand job on getting there. These are the Google Maps listings, and if you hover over the address, it will come up with some more elements. So these are good. Reputation is important. It's great to have the stars because you've got lots of reviews from Google, and 2 of these have. But which of these ones will you click on? Clearly, McCann Roofing, great performance. Pimlico, disappointing. They are probably, with a ratio of 3.3, they're probably losing 80% of their potential trade of being on this page. So that's where you need to be on Google, and get the right keywords. You know, if you're an emergency roofer, that is the search term to look at. And look at your competitors here near where you are. We've still got Pimlico, they're obviously spending a lot of money. So that's good. So let me go back to the presentation that we were watching. Let's check that's got to the full page version. Yeah. And just taking a bit of time again as we switch. So Google's the only player in town. You've got to be on page 1. Look at where you are, and have a look at our book when it comes out. That should hopefully give you some pointers to what is going to be required to be on page 1 of Google, and that would be good. Let's just see what's happening here. So it's right, okay, so it took a bit of time. So what are the alternatives to Google? There's adverts. We saw the pay-per-click Google ads. They are great. They're rapid. They can be expensive. They go up depending on supply and demand of people wanting it. It can eat your money. And the important thing is, when you're spending a few pounds per click, you need to make sure that when they contact you, that you convert them to clients. i.e., you ring, you answer your phone in a professional way, you promptly deal with emails, etc. So it is a good route, done correctly. Yellow Pages is declining, waste of money in my view. Magazines and papers do not give high conversions. You want people to be thinking, yes, I need a roof, I will ring now. An alternative is to buy leads. There's companies that will sell you leads, very much based around the keywords that you're looking for. Very similar to Google in terms of their approach, and often how that actually gets charged to you is based. So if it's a difficult search term for Google, they will charge you in a corresponding way. But those companies are very good at getting the clients and getting very good leads. They are very good quality leads. They will use, for example, the email and books that we talked about earlier on websites, for example. Um, Two routes. One will either sell you, and this is a cheaper option, they will sell you the same lead as two other people, and that's cheaper. And if you think you're very price driven and very good, might be worth trying it. Others are dedicated leads, and that's our approach. We sell leads, and it's a short contract. Most of these people will allow you to cancel very rapidly. Ours is a one-day notice, but you know, who is going to cancel if they're getting lots of regular leads? Here's a good free idea for you. Just recontact some of the people who have contacted you. You know, think of a reason to recontact them. Can you offer them a deal or a free survey or discussion on their route? Do it by phone or email. Make sure going forward you collect these contacts. They are well worth it, particularly for big projects. People might not, for various reasons, want to follow up, so that would be good. Any business contacts, builders, architects, etc., try and meet up with them. Very, very useful way of getting some business. Social media allows you to become known as the local roofing expert, and you can join your local Facebook groups and pages. You can post interesting info about roofing, you know, videos or whatever it might be. It takes time, but it's free if you do it yourself. And again, it's one of those things which will really help your Google ranking, so I recommend it. Again, we're very close to doing a book. It probably won't be First Full Biz, it'll be our guide to starting a business, but we'll be issuing a guide to help you market your business. It's very much a generic one rather than targeted for roofers, but you know, it will certainly give you the guidelines of what to do. So, in summary, we're obviously coming to the end of this presentation. I'd just like to recap on some of the things that are important. Website, if you haven't got one, just go and get one. We do them, and we'd love to help you, and that is probably the most important thing you should do. If you've got a website, look at comparing your website to other roofing competitors and in your local area. And if you are being really dynamic, look at Roofing New York, for example. We often take our ideas because it's a far more competitive market. They spend a lot of money on digital marketing in the States, and that may give you some very good ideas which your website developer can implement. There's a number of basics that I covered on one of the slides that you should just, you know, have I actually got those all on my website? Have a look on your smartphone. I think on my dealings, 90% of roofers have got a smartphone. So have a look on it. What does your website look like on that? What about video? You know, take a video of some of the work you're doing, put it in the gallery. Roofing, you know, you've got to have confidence in your roofer. So a video of you talking or being interviewed will give people confidence. It doesn't have to be professional. We quite often take you know, amateur footage and just tidy it up, add a few bits or not even add a few bits, put it on a website. It will increase the number of people who contact you. If you've got people coming to your website, you want them to actually convert to actually ringing you or emailing you. That is the main thing your website's there for. It's your 24-hour, 7-day-a-week marketing and sales guy. So be found. You've got the great website, you need to be found. Search engine optimization is key. One thing I didn't cover in the website, though it is in one of our books, is about the website. If you're ordering a website, make sure it's search engine friendly. If it's not, when you ask your search engine guy to do something, he will add on costs. So it's worth just getting it clarified. What are they doing to make it search engine friendly? Pay-per-click is certainly something that is well worth considering doing. It's a cost. You can turn it on, turn it off. Various people will help you with that. It's important, if you're doing it, that what you ask them to do converts. So whenever you're running the campaigns, make sure your phones are there, you're not on holiday, etc. A good trick there is, I know you might like a lot of the contact to go to your phone, but quite often, you know, if you've got a fair lady or a fair man at home, to be politically correct, get them to answer the phones, and then it guarantees that, you know, you can answer it. And just imagine you guys up a ladder and the phone going off. So just think about that. The other thing that is probably the least work, but lead companies will discuss with you the type of leads, because it is important that the leads that you're buying are exactly the leads you want. Are they emergency leads? Are they project roofing leads? Or are they both? How many leads per day do you want coming to you? Is it 1, 2? Or if you're a big firm, you might be wanting 10 leads a day. So, you know, that needs to be clear. What services do you offer? So there's a number of things. They will also, to try and reduce the cost and get better quality leads, like ourselves, we will try and optimize a book about yourself, which you will, depending on the deal, will have right to, and then you can publish that as, I am the author of this roofing guide, and you know, that will just encourage people to use you. In terms of other things which are particularly worth considering, spend a few evenings going through old phone log lists, old emails to people who inquired of your services. Contact them, think of a reason. You know, I've been 10 years in the business now, you know, we're doing a special promotion. Whatever marketing angle you want to do, and then just contact them. They can always ignore it. Hey, social media, again, is very good. Facebook is particularly appropriate for local business. Get people to know you. Use it with other things to become known as the local expert roofer in your area, and that will get you the leads, and it will get you away from cost quotes. It will be people coming to you for a job, and they probably will not ask for other quotations. So well worth doing. I've covered it a lot here. I like to keep my time. I haven't been able to address all of the questions that have been sent to me. I will probably be doing 2 more webinars over the next couple of weeks. One on websites, and addressing a number of things in that. So watch this space for that. And Search engine optimization is quite a complex one, and I will probably do one or two on that subject, probably linked to the book that I talked about, so that will be well worth doing. Let's see if I can finish this, so hopefully that we get to at the end, and that we get a decent recording of this. I love to chat, I love businesses, and I think you've certainly got a very interesting one, but perhaps don't ask me to go up a ladder. So thanks very much. It's Steve Hooker, First for Biz, and I look forward to hearing from you. Otherwise, all the best for your business, and have a good evening. Thank you very much for this.